If someone shows these clues, they're mentally dating you already. Old Stoic Wisdom. The mind has its own way of telling us what the heart knows. Have you ever felt the weight of someone's gaze a little too long? Or maybe they recall a small, offhand comment you made, something you barely remember saying. But they bring it up as if it holds great significance. It's as if they understand you in ways no one else does, yet they never vocalize it. Strange, right? But what if I told you this quiet attention is more than just a coincidence? There's a psychological reason behind it. You might just be the subject of their silent affection, their mental partner, living in the world of their thoughts and emotions, even if they never express it openly. As a psychology expert, I've witnessed this phenomenon countless times. People can develop deep emotional bonds in their minds, imagining a connection with someone without ever saying a word. Today, I'll share with you 7 subtle signs that someone may already be mentally in a relationship with you. Some of these clues are so hidden, you might never even notice them. Stick with me until the end. The final clue is often overlooked, but once you understand it, it will all make sense. Section 1. The concept. What is mental dating? Before we dive into the clues that reveal whether someone is mentally dating you, let's take a moment to understand exactly what mental dating means. Simply put, it's when someone forms a romantic connection with you entirely in their mind. They picture endless conversations, shared moments, and a possible future together, but none of it ever sees the light of day in the real world. This isn't about wild fantasies or daydreams in the traditional sense. It's far more subtle, and in many ways, it's more dangerous. It's an emotional attachment that lives only in their imagination, never expressed openly. This psychological phenomenon is often referred to as internal projection. Essentially, someone projects their hopes, desires, and even their fears onto another person without ever involving them. They build this emotional narrative around you, without you knowing, and without any real action taken to bring it to life. It's a projection of feelings, not an exchange. So why does this happen? It often boils down to fear. Fear of rejection, fear of not being good enough, or perhaps a belief that merely thinking about you is safer than facing the truth. It's easier to construct a world in your head where you two are always together, where everything is perfect, without confronting the possibility of failure or disappointment. But here's the kicker: even though they keep these thoughts to themselves, mental dating leaves behind clues. The human mind can try to hide emotions, but the body, the eyes, the behavior, they're honest. They always give away the truth. People may think they can keep their feelings in check, but the way they act around you, how they look at you, the subtle ways they engage with you, it all betrays them. And when someone is mentally dating you, these signs will show up. You've probably already experienced it. Maybe you've noticed someone lingering just a little too long in your personal space, offering more support than usual, or making you feel like the center of their attention without you ever asking for it. The most telling part of mental dating is that, while these individuals aren't expressing their feelings outright, they're creating a reality in their minds where you're a central part of their emotional world. You must understand that this behavior is not innocent. It's not a casual friendship or a passing crush. It's something deeper, something that, if left unchecked, can lead to frustration and confusion, because the other person is emotionally invested in a relationship that doesn't exist in reality. They've mentally locked themselves into a narrative of what they want, but they have no intention of taking the leap to make it real. It's not just about fantasy. It's about attachment to a person who has no clue they're the focus of someone else's emotional world. So, how can you spot these clues? The next time you're interacting with someone who may be mentally dating you, pay attention to how they act around you. Are they constantly thinking out loud about future scenarios with you, even though they've never talked about making those scenarios a reality? Do they spend a lot of time observing you, perhaps even noticing little details about you that no one else seems to? That's a strong sign that their mind is already in a romantic space, even if they haven't told you outright. Mentally dating someone is like planting seeds in your head that are never nurtured in the real world. It's about imagining a connection, but never allowing it to take form. That's where the clues come in, and that's where you need to recognize them. Mental dating is an emotional trap, and once you spot the signs, you'll be able to avoid getting caught up in someone else's imaginary relationship. Be aware, watch for the clues, and remember, if someone's mentally dating you, they're showing it. You must learn to read these signs before it's too late. Section 2. The 7 hidden clues. They're mentally dating you. Relationships are not always about what is spoken aloud or explicitly stated. Sometimes, the connection we share with someone exists only in their mind and actions, long before they confess their feelings. Have you noticed subtle signs that someone might be mentally dating you? It's more than just eye contact or the occasional flirty comment. There are deeper clues at play that reveal how their emotions have already taken root. Here's a breakdown of 7 hidden clues that will help you decode these subtle signals. Clue 1. They study your social media like a diary. When someone is mentally dating you, your social media is no longer just a platform for sharing photos. It becomes their personal treasure trove, an intimate diary they dig through like a detective in search of clues. They don't just like a post here and there. They remember the caption under your photo from months ago. They know your favorite coffee spot without you ever mentioning it. It's as if, through a screen, they're building a connection. This obsessive behavior comes from emotional investment. It's not just about being curious. It's about forming a bond, no matter how digital. They analyze every picture, every caption, every emoji, and every subtle shift in your online presence. It's the kind of behavior you'd see in a relationship, where every little detail is cherished. So when they're scrolling through your feed with the intensity of someone reading a love letter, it's a clear signal that they're mentally dating you already. Clue 2. They get jealous silently. Have you ever noticed them go oddly quiet or distant when you mention someone else? Maybe they offer a tight-lipped smile, but you can sense a shift in their energy. That's not just a fleeting moment. It's silent jealousy. Emotionally, when someone is mentally dating you, their internal world is in conflict. They want to be closer to you, but they can't claim that right just yet. So, they suppress their feelings, and in doing so, they create a silence that speaks volumes. This jealousy may not be loud or dramatic, but it is undeniably present, like a quiet storm that only they are weathering. When you see this behavior, take it as a sign that their heart is already invested in a relationship that hasn't been formally declared yet. Clue 3. They mirror you without realizing it. Mirroring is one of the most subtle yet telling signs that someone is mentally dating you. It's not about mimicry or imitation. It's a natural, subconscious way humans build emotional intimacy. You'll notice they start using the same phrases you do, laughing at the same jokes, and even adopting similar fashion choices. It's as though they're syncing with your rhythm, because, in their mind, you two are already on the same wavelength. Psychologically, mirroring happens when two people feel emotionally connected. Their bodies, without conscious thought, start reflecting each other's movements and habits. If you catch them mirroring you, whether it's a quirky habit or a favourite expression, it's a clear indication that, mentally, they've already formed a bond with you. They're not just copying, they're building a bridge of connection. Clue 4. They look at you like you're already theirs. There's a look. It's a gaze that holds more than just fleeting curiosity. When someone is mentally dating you, their eyes often linger on you just a second too long, as though they're seeing something beyond your physical form. They're envisioning a life they wish they could share with you. That look speaks of unspoken affection and longing, even if they never say a word. Prolonged eye contact is a powerful psychological tool. Studies have shown that it's often linked to emotional desire and affection. If their gaze lingers, and you feel the weight of their attention, it's not accidental. It's their way of communicating feelings they might not be ready to express. That lingering look. It's a silent confession that in their heart, you're already part of their world. Clue 5. They remember everything you say, even the small things. You might have mentioned something in passing months ago, a love for stargazing, a passion for a certain type of music, or a favorite childhood memory. But when they bring it up again, like it was something deeply significant, don't dismiss it. It's not a coincidence. It's an emotional imprint. When someone is emotionally invested, they absorb even the smallest details of your life. These aren't just idle observations. To them, these things matter. They remember because they want to connect with you on a deeper level, treating your words as promises. They're mentally dating you by holding on to the things that you might think are insignificant, but to them, they're gold. They're using these tiny details to build a narrative of closeness in their mind. Clue 6. They fantasize shared futures in conversation. People don't talk about the future unless they're mentally committed to it. So, when they make statements like, "If I ever had someone like you," or "Imagine if we lived in the same city," don't let these comments slide by unnoticed. While they may not be outright declarations of love, they're mentally rehearsing the life they wish they could share with you. This is called future projection, when someone envisions a life with you and tests the waters by introducing it subtly into conversation. It's their way of projecting an emotional reality that they haven't yet built, but desperately want to. These comments may not seem like much, but they're a clue that, in their mind, they've already made space for you in their future. Clue 7. They get nervous around you for no reason. This one is a big tell. They might be confident with everyone else, but when you walk into the room, something shifts. They fidget, their voices tremble, they either talk too much or become strangely quiet. It's almost like they've lost control of their composure around you. But why? The reason is simple. Emotional conflict. They're mentally committed to you, but fear holds them back. Their body betrays them because, in their mind, they're already emotionally invested in you, but they can't act on it just yet. It's the tension of unspoken affection, the feeling of wanting something but being paralyzed by the consequences of pursuing it. If you see this nervousness, it's a sign that they're deeply connected to you mentally, even if they haven't yet fully expressed it. So, when you notice these clues, whether it's the deep dive into your social media presence or the nervous twitch when you're around, remember, these are the signs of someone who is mentally dating you, even if they haven't confessed it. Don't brush them off. Recognize the depth of connection that's already formed in their mind, and understand that the journey to a more formal relationship might just be one conversation away. Keep your eyes open. Be aware of these clues, and know that sometimes the heart knows before the lips can speak. You must pay attention to the silent language they're speaking. After all, actions speak louder than words, and these unspoken gestures might just reveal the truth. Section 3. Why people mentally date instead of acting? Why do some people mentally date instead of taking action? Why stay silent when the emotions are so strong? The answer lies deep in human psychology. And it's not about lacking feelings, it's about fear. The fear isn't about you, but about the risks of exposing their heart, the vulnerability of putting themselves out there, and the scars left by past pain. Fear of rejection plays a huge part in this. To confess love is to risk everything: your heart, your dignity, your sense of self. For someone who mentally dates you, their imagination offers a safer space than reality. In their mind, they've already connected with you, already envisioned a future, already built a bond. It's comfortable, it's familiar, and it's secure. But taking that next step into the real world means confronting uncertainty. And in the process, the illusion they've built could shatter, and so might their heart. The very thought of facing rejection can be terrifying, and they might find that staying silent feels far safer than taking a chance on exposing their true feelings. Then, there's the trauma of past experiences. Life doesn't always go the way we hope, and for many, it's left them with emotional scars. They may have loved someone before, but that love wasn't returned. Or they may have been brave enough to put their heart on the line, only to be met with silence, coldness, or even heartbreak. Those painful experiences build walls around their hearts, walls that make it harder to step forward and risk feeling that same kind of devastation again. So when they meet someone like you, someone they care about deeply, they choose to love you quietly, to keep their feelings tucked away in their minds because silence feels like protection, like a shield against the possibility of history repeating itself. It's easier to hide behind mental dating than risk being exposed and hurt again. Low self-worth or insecurity can play a part too. They might genuinely feel they're not enough for you. They look at your confidence, your beauty, your strength, and feel small by comparison. They might feel like they're living in your shadow, constantly doubting their own value, rather than reach out and risk being rejected or even just being seen. They choose to love you from afar. In their minds, they're worthy of you. They know it. But in reality, they're filled with self-doubt and the fear of being rejected. So they keep their emotions in check, always wondering if they're good enough, never fully embracing the chance to take action because they're not sure they can live up to what you deserve. But here's the truth. Mentally dating isn't a sign of weakness. It's a form of quiet hope, a way of protecting the heart while still acknowledging the depth of feeling. It's a subtle declaration, a whispered "I care for you" that doesn't need to be shouted to be real. It's not a game or a manipulation, it's self-preservation. The person who mentally dates you might seem distant, but in their mind, they've already woven you into the fabric of their life. They're loving you silently, carefully, because they don't know how to do it any other way without risking everything. And sometimes, the ones who feel the most are the ones who speak the least. So, if someone is mentally dating you, don't mistake it for indifference. It's a quiet form of affection, a tender acknowledgement of their feelings without the courage, or perhaps the trust, to take the next step. Don't rush them, don't push them. Instead, understand that love can be complex and multi-layered. What they may lack in words, they make up for in the quiet moments, the subtle glances, the unspoken care they show, and even though they may not be acting, they are feeling, and in their hearts, they are already there with you. It might be a slow journey, but don't give up hope on the possibility of those feelings coming to the surface. Section 4. The emotional and psychological roots of mental dating. Let's take a deeper dive into the emotional and psychological roots behind why some people mentally date instead of acting. This part will explore the unseen barriers, the personal struggles and fears that shape their behavior. First, vulnerability is a terrifying thing for many people. Opening up emotionally and letting someone into your heart can feel like a gamble. And when you've been hurt before, that gamble feels like it's too high a price to pay again. Mentally dating, in this sense, becomes a defense mechanism. It's easier to keep things in your head where it feels safe. But remember, it's not a lack of affection. It's the fear of being vulnerable, of not being able to handle the emotional impact if things don't turn out the way they hope. Past experiences also play a huge role in this. Many people carry with them the emotional scars of relationships that didn't go as planned. They've tried and failed, loved and lost, been rejected or abandoned, and that pain often leads them to build walls around their hearts. This trauma keeps them mentally dating rather than facing the reality of stepping into the unknown. They might fear history repeating itself, so instead of acting, they choose to keep their love in the realm of fantasy, where they can nurture it without the risk of disappointment. You can pull in Stoic philosophy here to highlight how the past, while shaping us, doesn't have to control our future. Stoics understood that we can control our response to events, even if we can't control the events themselves. However, for those who mentally date, the risk of emotional pain can feel too overwhelming to take that first step. Another aspect is self-esteem and the fear of inadequacy. People who mentally date often don't feel worthy of the person they are emotionally attached to. They see qualities in you, confidence, success, attractiveness, that make them feel small in comparison. They believe you're out of their league, so rather than risk the embarrassment of rejection, they build a mental relationship with you where they can remain secure. Their love is real, but it's expressed in a way that feels less threatening to their fragile sense of self. It's easier to live in their imagination, where they're always the hero of their own story, rather than taking the risk of seeing themselves as they think you see them insufficient, flawed, or simply not good enough. Lastly, mental dating often comes from a place of idealization. When someone mentally dates you, they build an image of you in their minds, a perfect version of you that aligns with their hopes and desires. The issue here is that idealization creates an illusion. They've built a world in which you fit perfectly, and stepping into the reality of a relationship means facing the possibility that the real you might not meet their mental picture. This fear of disappointment keeps them emotionally distant, even as their feelings grow. The beauty of idealization is that it's comforting. It allows them to stay in their dream world without the fear of anything ruining their perfect image of you. But in reality, it also prevents them from truly getting to know you, and it's only when they allow themselves to take the leap into real connection that they'll truly discover what a genuine relationship could be. Section 5. The art of transitioning from mental dating to real dating. Now that we've looked at why someone might choose mental dating, the next question is, how can you move from the world of mental dating to a real, tangible relationship? The transition isn't always easy, but it's possible with patience, understanding, and emotional bravery. Start by acknowledging the emotional weight of mental dating. For someone who's mentally dating you, their feelings are very real, even if they haven't expressed them. They've built up this mental relationship, and stepping out of that mental world is daunting. So, what they need isn't just a push, but a safe space to feel comfortable expressing their emotions. You must make it clear that vulnerability is safe with you. Show them that you're not there to judge, criticize, or hurt them, but that you want to build something real together. Take small steps to bridge the gap. It doesn't have to be a grand gesture or an immediate confession of feelings. Start by encouraging open communication. Gently ask questions about their thoughts and feelings, without forcing them to speak before they're ready. Help them trust you with their vulnerabilities, and reassure them that it's okay to take risks in love. Remember, this process will take time. Be patient with them, as they need to trust that you're not going to hurt them. Embrace authenticity. In order to help someone transition from mental dating to real dating, you must both show your true selves. Encourage them to drop the idealized versions of each other and accept the imperfections that come with a genuine connection. As Stoic wisdom suggests, the path to true peace comes from accepting things as they are, not as we imagine them to be. By building upon these sections, your video will have a clear, profound, and insightful message. You'll give your viewers a deeper understanding of the psychology behind mental dating and practical advice on how to recognize it, understand it, and eventually transition into real, meaningful relationships. 5 signs that someone really wants to date you. If you're wondering whether someone truly wants to date you, it's not always obvious, especially when the relationship hasn't been clearly defined yet. However, there are subtle signs in their actions and communication that can reveal if they're looking to take things further. In this article, I will break down 5 important signs that show someone genuinely wants to date you, and why these signs are important in developing a romantic connection. 1. They proactively make time for you. One of the clearest signs that someone wants to date you is that they proactively make time for you. This is more than just casual interactions or bumping into each other by chance. It's about them making a conscious effort to spend quality time with you. This could mean inviting you to events, planning dates, or simply finding ways to be with you. When someone wants to date you, they'll make an effort to fit you into their schedule because they value your company and want to build a connection. For instance, if they start inviting you to hang out with their friends or even suggest intimate one-on-one outings, that's a strong indication that they're interested in moving the relationship forward. They don't just want to see you out of obligation. They genuinely enjoy spending time with you. This proactive effort shows they are invested in building a relationship with you, not just keeping things casual. 2. They show genuine concern and care for you. Another strong sign that someone is interested in dating you is that they consistently show genuine concern and care for you. This goes beyond simple inquiries about your day-to-day life. They remember details, ask about your feelings, and show a deeper level of interest in your well-being. They might check in with you when you're feeling down, ask how your week went, or send you little thoughtful gestures like a text or a small gift, simply because they care. This behavior shows that they are not only thinking about you, but they actively want to make sure you're okay and feel valued. When someone wants to date you, their actions will reflect a level of emotional investment that goes beyond casual acquaintance. They'll remember your likes, dislikes, and the things that matter to you. It's a clear sign that they want to be a supportive presence in your life and build a deeper emotional connection. 3. They share their future plans with you. When someone wants to date you, they will begin to share their future plans with you, and they want you to be a part of them. This is one of the most telling signs that they are serious about the relationship. If they start talking about upcoming vacations, future goals, or events and include you in those plans, it's a strong indication that they're thinking long-term. For example, they might mention wanting to travel together, or they could start talking about their plans for the next few months or years and include you in them. When they see you as a part of their future, it's a clear sign they're not just looking for a fleeting connection, they want something more lasting. This sharing of future plans is a significant step in building a deeper, committed relationship. 4. They create opportunities for physical and emotional closeness. A crucial sign that someone wants to date you is that they make efforts to be physically and emotionally closer to you. This goes beyond just occasional touches or hugs. It's about creating an environment where you can connect on a deeper level. They might initiate hand-holding, give you warm embraces, or find ways to make you feel close, both physically and emotionally. However, physical closeness is just one part. They'll also make an effort to connect with you emotionally by creating a safe space where you feel comfortable opening up. They want to create a bond that goes beyond surface-level interactions, and they're invested in making sure you feel heard and understood. Their actions reflect that they want to build a solid emotional foundation, which is essential for any lasting romantic relationship. 5. They introduce you to important people in their life. Finally, one of the most significant signs that someone wants to date you is that they start introducing you to the important people in their life, such as family, close friends, or colleagues. When someone is serious about a relationship, they'll want you to be a part of their inner circle. They'll feel comfortable bringing you into their social world and letting you meet the people they care about. This is a big step because it shows that they're not just keeping you in the background or as a casual acquaintance. They're ready for you to be part of their life, and they want you to get to know the people who matter to them. Introducing you to their family or friends signals that they view you as a significant part of their life and are comfortable with the idea of others recognizing the relationship. It also suggests that they are considering a long-term future with you, one in which you're involved in the broader aspects of their life. When someone truly wants to date you, their actions will speak louder than words. Signs like making time for you, showing genuine care, sharing future plans, creating opportunities for closeness, and introducing you to important people in their life are all clear indicators that they're interested in building a deeper, more meaningful relationship. These signs go beyond superficial gestures. They reflect a real desire to grow together and develop something long-lasting. Don't ignore these cues, as they indicate that the person is serious about you and wants to build a connection that goes beyond just casual interactions. Bonus clue. They communicate through small, meaningful gestures rather than words. A subtle yet powerful bonus clue that someone may be mentally dating you is that they communicate through small, meaningful gestures rather than openly expressing their feelings through words. You might find them sending you a song they know you'll like, or sharing an article that aligns with your interests, without any prompting. Perhaps they've noticed something as simple as your preferred coffee order, and surprise you by bringing it to you when you least expect it. While they may never explicitly say how they feel about you, these thoughtful actions speak louder than words and reveal a deeper connection. At first glance, these gestures might seem insignificant or simply friendly acts of kindness, but in the context of mental dating, they become a form of expression for someone who isn't yet ready or able to fully open up. They're creating an emotional bond with you, without taking the risk of a verbal confession. These little acts may feel like minor details, but they are actually emotional investments in the relationship, a way for them to show that they care and are thinking of you, even without saying it out loud. From a Stoic perspective, these small gestures are much in line with the philosophy that advocates for expressing affection through actions rather than words. The Stoics believed that love and care should be shown through tangible actions that reflect one's inner emotions. To them, emotions should not be overexpressed, but instead should be conveyed in a way that reflects wisdom and emotional balance. This approach helps avoid unnecessary emotional drama while still communicating affection and care in a grounded, respectful way. In this context, someone who is mentally dating you might refrain from grand declarations of love or over-the-top romantic gestures because they fear vulnerability or rejection. However, they still seek to express their feelings, and they do so through actions. The act of thinking about you, remembering your likes and dislikes, and following through with these small gestures shows a kind of quiet commitment. It's their way of demonstrating affection while keeping their emotional walls intact. These acts of kindness could range from practical things like helping you out when you're in a bind, to more sentimental gestures like planning something special based on your shared memories. In their mind, they are already nurturing a relationship with you, albeit a mental one. And even though they may not outwardly confess their feelings, these actions make it clear that their interest in you is real, deep, and ongoing. What's crucial here is that these meaningful gestures are an extension of their feelings. Each small act is a way to build intimacy without the emotional risk. When you notice these thoughtful actions, recognize them for what they are, a deeply caring expression of affection that doesn't require words to be understood. It's as if they are mentally dating you, laying down the emotional groundwork in the hopes that, one day, they may be ready to take the next step. If you find yourself on the receiving end of such actions, it's important to appreciate them for their true value. Though the person may not be verbally expressing their feelings, these gestures reflect a quiet devotion, a love that is real but wrapped in protective layers. While they may be mentally dating you, these small, meaningful actions may ultimately serve as a bridge toward a more overt connection. They are paving the way for a relationship that could someday be fully realized, but for now, they're taking it one step at a time. Understanding this from a Stoic viewpoint, you can appreciate that mental dating isn't a sign of emotional weakness or indecision, but rather a deliberate effort to express care in a controlled, meaningful way. Instead of rushing into emotional vulnerability, they are being thoughtful, deliberate, and careful with how they handle their feelings. And while they may not be acting on them yet, their actions speak louder than any words could, revealing the depth of their emotions in a more subtle and profound manner. By recognizing these small but significant gestures, you can better understand someone's emotional state and their readiness for a deeper connection. These thoughtful acts can be a beautiful sign that, even though they might not be ready to fully commit, they are already mentally dating you, loving you quietly, and hoping for the future when they can act on it. So now, someone in your life might already be in a relationship with you in their mind. They may never say it, they may never act on it, but their heart has already chosen you. The signs are there, in the way they look at you, in what they remember, in the silence that feels louder than words. It's quiet, but it's real. Have you ever mentally dated someone without telling them, or felt like someone was silently doing that with you? Tell me in the comments below. I read everyone. Your story might help someone else feel seen. And if you found this video meaningful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. This channel is all about psychology, love, and the hidden truths behind human behavior. I'm glad you were here. Until next time, take care of your heart and pay attention to the silence. It often speaks the loudest.